Hi guys, here's my disclaimer. Not a lawyer, just a yapper. Let's get to business. The Seoul Central District Court have officially declared that NewJeans' exclusive contracts with ADOR are valid. I predicted this outcome, and I even predicted that the judge would absolutely ether them in his ruling, which is exactly what happened. I also want to highlight that NewJeans didn't even show up to this final court date. I repeat, NewJeans didn't even show up to the verdict. Something tells me even they knew that this was going to be the outcome. Their law firm, Sejong, released a statement confirming they will immediately appeal. NewJeans respects the court's decision, but Sejong reiterates that the members still have no intention of returning to ADOR. I also predicted this since their stance has always been that returning to ADOR is not an option, regardless of this case's outcome. Let's go point by point and see what the court had to say in its verdict. Then I'll give some general commentary at the end. Regarding the dismissal of Min Heejin, the court finds it difficult to agree that a management vacuum occurred because of this. Her role as CEO of ADOR shouldn't be guaranteed just because NewJeans likes her, nor do their contracts contain such stipulation. Plus, ADOR gave Min Heejin the opportunity to continue producing for the group, but she refused. They even reappointed her as an internal director, but she chose to voluntarily resign from the company. Therefore, it is difficult to view as a unilateral breach of trust on ADOR's part. In layman terms, the judge is saying build a bridge and get over it. If it meant that much to her, Min Heejin would have compromised with the company and kept producing for NewJeans. If they're so distraught over Min Heejin not being at ADOR anymore, they should take it up with her, because she's the one that chose to leave. The court is saying right here in the text that Min Heejin being replaced as CEO of ADOR is not a breach of contract, and they question whether it's even reasonable for NewJeans to demand that. I said in real time that Min Heejin should have accepted that compromise deal, and her refusal was a wake-up call about where her priorities really were. Regarding NewJeans' claims of mismanagement, the court is once again pointing the finger at Min Heejin. ADOR was unable to secure a producer for NewJeans for months following Min Heejin's dismissal due to her lack of cooperation. The company still fulfilled its management duties in the interim, such as album production, performance preparation, world tour plan establishment, and planning provisions for ad shoots. Another claim down the drain. ADOR was actively trying to retain Min Heejin as a producer because that's what NewJeans wanted. It was Min Heejin that didn't want to stay merely in the roles of a producer and internal director. That's her right, of course, but NewJeans can't hold ADOR responsible for a production gap when their preferred producer is literally refusing to be their producer. There's nothing ADOR can do about that, so the court is right to dismiss this claim. We've now reached ADOR Gate, or the retaliatory audit of Min Heejin, if you let NewJeans tell it. The court finds it difficult to view the audit as unfair, especially given the materials found as a result. The ruling directly references the Kakao Talk messages between Min Heejin and her then vice president, which confirmed her intentions to separate ADOR and NewJeans from Hybe. Attempts to shape public opinion, contacting investors, and using the members' parents to file complaints are cited as valid grounds for initiating an audit. Simply put, it's reasonable for one to conclude that Min Heejin intended to take NewJeans independent, and ADOR's audit was a response to these plans. It was so cathartic to read those words when this ruling dropped. In one of the very first videos I made last year, I said straight up that Min Heejin got cocky, which led her to get reckless, which allowed Hybe to catch her lacking with that audit. The jig was up the minute those Kakao Talk messages were uncovered, but her crafty ass still found a way to convince people she was being attacked for plagiarism complaints. Min Heejin got herself fired, then dragged everyone down with her, including NewJeans. They threw themselves in front of a moving bus full of lawsuits, PR nightmares, and penalty fees to shield that woman from the consequences of her own actions. Now we move to the dispatch of it all. NewJeans were unsatisfied with ADOR's response to their pre-debut trainee videos being leaked last year. The company contacted Source Music demanding an explanation for the leak and sent an official letter to Dispatch requesting they remove the footage. Hybe hired outside help to scrub the internet of leaked material, resulting in deleted videos and blurred images. Therefore, it is difficult for the court to agree that ADOR did not take necessary measures in this circumstance. I think it's understandable for the NewJeans members to be distressed by their trainee footage leaking. Even though Source Music owns owns that content. The members were all minors when those videos were recorded under the premise that it would never be published to the world. So to see all that content suddenly leak out and spread like wildfire is probably a helpless feeling. Be that as it may, this was never going to be accepted in court due to the obvious fact that ADOR is not source music. ADOR did not leak that footage, but they did take necessary action to correct it in the ways they could, which means they fulfilled their obligations. Next, they addressed the recording of a Hybe PR employee discussing NewJeans' achievements in Japan. Once again, the court finds it difficult to agree with NewJeans' interpretation of this as disparagement. The original report stated NewJeans' Japanese debut album had sold 1 million copies in Japan alone. This claim was severely erroneous and could undermine Hybe's stock price and mislead investors. The company has an obligation to correct such reports, so there's insufficient reasoning to view this as malicious. To be fair, that Hybe PR employee went beyond just correcting the numbers, which is why Hybe removed him from the PR team. I think it was inappropriate for him to tell a random reporter that Min Heejin was mentally gaslighting the NewJeans members, but was he wrong though?
He's out of line, but he's right.
Moving on, let's talk about the plagiarism allegations. The court acknowledged some similarities between Audit and NewJeans, but they don't rise to the level of outright copying. All in all, this claim is dismissed. Short, sweet, and to the point. Nothing on this earth is brand new anymore. We all take inspiration from somewhere. Hopefully this brings closure to the Audit members and their fans who've been through hell and back over this issue. Speaking of Audit, Ignore Gate is up next.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa!
That's too damn bad!
Text messages between Min Heejin and Honey revealed that the ignore her wording actually originated from Min Heejin. The ruling also points out that Honey did not accurately describe the situation at the time, and CCTV confirms that Audit members greeted and bowed to her. Therefore, the court can't conclude that Honey experienced an infringement of her personal rights. Damn, this part is brutal. Basically, the court told Honey she couldn't keep her story straight. The version she did tell was clearly influenced by Min Heejin, and this was all much ado about nothing since video footage confirms that Audit greeted her. This ruling is a bloodbath. I'm actually shook, and honestly, I'm beyond tired of discussing the nothing burger that is Ignore Gate. Let's move on to the Dolphin Kidnappers group and Shin Woo-suk. ADOR requested for him to take down a director's cut of NewJeans' ETA music video, prompting a public dispute and the end of their business relationship. However, ADOR's request was found to be a valid exercise of their rights under the consignment service contract. Such content cannot be posted without Hybe's prior consent. Yet, the Dolphin Group did so anyway. It's difficult to see ADOR's request as a violation of NewJeans' exclusive contracts. Like I said in the past, ADOR can't just ignore contract breaches when they're committed by someone the girls like. There's currently an open case related to this issue, and Shin Woo-suk will have the chance to defend himself in court. As for NewJeans' case, though, the ruling confirms that ADOR acted in good faith to enforce their consignment service contract with Shin Woo-suk, and claims of breach on their part are meritless. Next, did Hybe engage in album pushing to manipulate sales numbers? Well, the court says it wasn't unfavorable to NewJeans even if they did, so claim dismissed. The issue was simply a tool for Min Heejin to wage corporate warfare and attack Hybe, not a genuine grievance. This ruling is bad for NewJeans, but it's an absolute disaster for Min Heejin. I don't want to go into it too much because I'll elaborate more at the end, but the court is being very explicit here for a reason. This ruling isn't just saying NewJeans' complaints are baseless, it's also saying these issues were raised in bad faith. Their last point is Hybe's leaked internal document containing the phrase "drop the new and start fresh." The court reviewed the entire document and confirmed there to be no negative content about NewJeans within it. That's right, zero, zilch, nada, nothing disparaging against the group. Min Heejin herself, who was CEO of ADOR at the time, reviewed the document and raised no objections. Hybe invested 21 billion Korean won into NewJeans. It's incomprehensible that they would abandon the group to focus on other idols. Are you kidding me? You mean to tell me that document was paraded around as proof of Hybe's intent to drop NewJeans but actually contained a grand total of zero negative content about them? The leaked parts I've seen from that document were honestly gross, so either way I think Hybe needed to discard of that business practice. However, this is yet another piece of evidence from NewJeans' side that the court has essentially debunked. We need to have a serious talk about where these girls go from here. Before I get into my commentary, I want to share ADOR's statement following their legal victory. They are deeply grateful to the courts for confirming that NewJeans' exclusive contracts remain valid and that ADOR had fulfilled its management obligations. They assert that exclusive contracts should not be broken by fabricating the appearance of a trust breakdown. ADOR hopes the members will reflect on various legal rulings from the past year and continue their entertainment activities with the agency. Should NewJeans choose to return, a prepared full-length album awaits them. Where do I even start, guys? I want to be very clear about my motivations and my point of view in all this. I don't hate NewJeans. I never did. I actually liked them as a group, and I truly wanted a good outcome for them. The fact of the matter is, NewJeans made a mistake, several of them, actually, some bigger than others. It's time for these girls to seriously think about their futures and what they want in this situation. Because trust me when I say Min Heejin already has. She's parachuting into her own independent company as we speak. Meanwhile, NewJeans jumped out the same plane without a landing plan. I feel the need to be blunt because there's no benefit in sugarcoating. NewJeans is cooked. Remember what I told you guys. Lawsuit hell doesn't end with this case. This ruling gives ADOR the leash to take this wherever they want it to go. If they want to welcome the girls back, then that's their prerogative. If they want to sue them into oblivion for damages and breach of contract, they can do that too. If they want to shelve the group and dungeon those girls for the remainder of their contracts, they can actually do that as well. Best of all, ADOR is now in a position to sue Min Heejin directly. As I mentioned earlier, the court was very explicit for a reason. This ruling states that Min Heejin acted in bad faith, was scheming against the company, and even validates Hybe's reasons for auditing her. Additionally, the court directly ties Min Heejin's influence to NewJeans' actions multiple times within this ruling, which is an essential component of tampering lawsuits. This is not good, not for Min Heejin, not for NewJeans, not for anyone on that side of the aisle. So where do they go from here? I already gave my prediction on that. NewJeans is not returning to ADOR. They'll appeal this into the ground, then maybe try to buy themselves out or something. Min Heejin might make enough money with her new agency to buy out NewJeans' contracts, granted she even wants to do that at this point. ADOR was super matter-of-fact in their statement, and that tone shift was very apparent to me. They aren't begging these girls to come back anymore. ADOR simply put option A and option B in front of them and told them to choose wisely. The company is coming to collect, and if they can't make money working with the girls, they'll get their money by other means. The ball is in your court, girls. That's all for now. Please share your thoughts down below. Take care and be well.